Do you feel like a part of you has been torn away? Like even when you're surrounded by people, something is still missing? That silent pain, that emptiness you try to hide, may have a deeper explanation than you realize. If you're going through a twin flame separation, what I'm about to share might change everything. But first, if this kind of content speaks to your heart, subscribe to the channel now. You're not alone, and together, we'll understand what this connection truly means. No one told you, but there's a reason behind all of this. Behind the intense connection, the sudden separation, the longing that doesn't seem to end. The truth is, the twin flame journey is more spiritual than romantic, and few people have the courage to say this out loud. You feel, even without words, that something greater is happening. And yes, you're right. This isn't craziness. Being separated from your twin flame hurts in ways words can't describe. And it's not just missing someone, it's like the world has lost its color. But this phase isn't punishment. It's a calling. An invitation to return to yourself. Because before you unite with another, life is asking you to reconnect with who you truly are. You might think you're being punished, that you did something wrong. But the separation isn't the end, it's the beginning. Your soul is guiding you. This pain has a purpose, to transform you. You're not being rejected. You're being prepared. And even if he seems distant, your connection hasn't been broken. It's just gone quiet. You see signs of him everywhere. In music, in dreams, in repeating numbers. That's not coincidence. The energy between you is alive. But now, that energy is being redirected toward your healing. And that's why it hurts so much. Pain is the symptom of the soul expanding. The love didn't go away. It's being refined. During separation, you may feel lost, confused, even start to doubt yourself. But that happens because the twin flame journey forces you to look inward. And what you find there isn't always pretty. Old fears, hidden traumas, parts of yourself you've avoided for years, now they rise to the surface to be healed. He feels it too. Even if he doesn't say it. Even if he's with someone else. The twin flame doesn't disappear. It hides for a while, but it never stops existing. And sometimes, his silence is the universe's way of showing you that you can walk on your own. That you're capable of blooming alone. And it's at this moment that many give up. They think it's over. But what no one tells you is that reunion doesn't happen when you chase him. It happens when you finally find yourself. That's the part that hurts, but that's also where the truth lives. Your twin flame is the mirror of your soul. He returns when you recognize yourself. You can't force it, control it, or chase it. That only pushes it further away. Because this love doesn't move by ego. It moves by soul. And the soul has its own timing. Trust it. Surrender. Do your part. Take care of yourself. Feed your light. The reunion begins within. It's internal before it's external. Invisible before visible. If you still feel it's real, that's because it is. Your mind may doubt, but your heart knows. And when the heart knows, no distance can erase it. No absence can destroy it. The connection remains even in silence. And that silence, as painful as it may be, is saying something. Listen. It's not the end. It's the pause for healing. Separation is actually the most powerful moment of the journey. It's when you begin to remember who you are, without needing the other as a reference. It's when you discover your strength doesn't depend on anyone. That your light isn't half of a whole, it's complete. You are whole. And he is only a reflection of that wholeness. You're not waiting for him. You're preparing for yourself. For the version of you that knows how to love without self-abandonment. Who chooses with awareness. Who doesn't cling out of emptiness, but connects out of resonance. And when that woman rises, the universe aligns. And everything that vibrates on your level begins to find you, including him, including love. Don't ignore the signs. Don't run from the pain. Every tear has a purpose. every silence holds a message. Every distance is a lever for your evolution. His soul is helping you, even if his mind doesn't realize it. The separation is temporary. The transformation is eternal. That's why you're here now. You're not alone on this path. Thousands of women are awakening to the same truth. And the more you care for yourself, the more you rise. And the more you rise, the more you radiate. And then, naturally, everything on your wavelength begins to find you. Even him. Especially love. You may think you've lost something. But in truth, you're gaining everything. You're gaining yourself. The greatest reunion is with your own essence. And ironically, that's what unlocks the reunion with him. Because your twin flame didn't come to complete you, he came to remind you that you're already whole. Do you feel that unexplainable ache in your chest? It's not weakness. It's your soul remembering who it loves beyond this life. But take it easy. Don't rush it. Don't try to fix what time is healing. Trust the process. You're not being punished. You're being polished. And when your light returns, everything makes sense. The truth no one tells you is that this journey is about you. Not about him. It's about becoming everything you came here to be. And then, when the soul is ready, he reappears, not to save you, but to walk beside you. Because now, you both know how to love with freedom. Without attachment. Without fear. Look at yourself with kindness. Hug yourself. Embrace your path. You're doing better than you think. Even when it feels like you're falling apart. What's collapsing isn't you, it's what you're no longer meant to be. And that's necessary. Because the love that comes after the pain is lighter, wiser, and more real. It's not about waiting. It's about living. Living with truth, with depth, with presence. The separation is just the backdrop of a much greater story. A story where the main character is you. Where the happy ending begins when you decide to love yourself. And reunion is just the consequence of that. If you made it this far, it's because your soul is ready. So subscribe to the channel now and keep walking this journey with me. Here you'll find answers, strength, and clarity. And most of all, you'll remember that you were never alone. Your path is only beginning, and it's more magical than you can imagine. You might think you've already heard it all about twin flames, but what if I told you there's still more, hidden in the quiet spaces where no one dares to look? Most people stop at the pain, at the longing, at the separation. But there's a whole other layer beneath it. A dimension of truth your soul already knows but your mind hasn't fully accepted yet. Keep reading. You're about to understand something that could shift everything inside you. This isn't just about love, it's about soul evolution. Your twin flame isn't just a romantic partner. He's a catalyst. A mirror. A trigger. He was never meant to make you feel safe, he was meant to make you feel everything you tried to avoid. And in the middle of that emotional storm, you find your true self. Raw. Real. Awake. You weren't abandoned, you were activated. That ache in your chest is the sound of ancient wounds cracking open. The kind of wounds you've carried across lifetimes. And now, in this life, they demand attention. His presence woke them up, but his distance is what makes you face them. That's why it feels unbearable, because it's sacred. What you're experiencing isn't just heartbreak. It's soul recognition. That jolt, that intensity, that strange sense of home, it wasn't imagination. It was memory. His energy didn't feel new because your souls have met before. Over and over. In different forms, in different lives. And that familiarity is what makes letting go feel impossible. There's something magnetic about the twin flame connection. Even when you try to walk away, something pulls you back. Not to him, necessarily, but to the deeper truth within yourself. The truth that you're meant to rise. To evolve. To ascend. This isn't just a love story, it's a spiritual contract. And you signed it long before this lifetime began. Have you ever noticed how time feels different since you met him? How your dreams have changed? How your intuition has sharpened? That's not a coincidence. It's the activation. Your twin flame cracks you open in a way nothing else can. He turns the light on in every corner of your soul. Even the parts you didn't want to see. Sometimes, the more you try to forget him, the more present he becomes. That's because the twin flame journey isn't about forgetting, it's about remembering. Remembering who you are. What you deserve. What your soul came here to do. And sometimes, he has to leave so you can truly begin. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it's confusing. You might even hate him some days. But underneath all of that is something pure, the truth that you've been cracked open to love at a depth most people never reach. You've touched something real. And once your soul knows that kind of love, it never settles for less again. You might feel like you're losing your mind. But what's really happening is that your old identity is crumbling. The version of you that played small, people-pleased, settled, she's dissolving. Because your twin flame didn't just break your heart. He broke the illusion. And now, you're being asked to live in your truth. Have you noticed how the universe won't let you go back to who you were? Every time you try, something blocks you. A job falls through. A friendship ends. Your body feels tired. That's not punishment, it's protection. You're being redirected toward your highest path. And your soul knows exactly where to go. People might not understand what you're going through. They might call it obsession or fantasy. But they're not in your body. They don't feel what you feel. And deep down, you know this is real. Not just emotionally, energetically. It's in your dreams, your gut, your breath. It's not a thought, it's a knowing. He may not say it. He may not even know how to explain it. But he feels it too. There are moments when he thinks of you and doesn't understand why. Nights when your name echoes in his chest for no reason. That's the soul calling. That's the cord. Invisible, but unbreakable. Stronger than silence. Stronger than distance. You weren't meant to chase him. You were meant to chase yourself. The version of you that exists after the storm. After the tears. After the healing. That version of you is magnetic. Whole. Untouchable. And she's the one who naturally attracts everything that aligns, including him, if it's meant to be. If you've been asking for signs, this is one. The fact that you're reading this isn't random. Your soul brought you here for a reason. Because it's time to stop doubting yourself. Stop shrinking. Stop waiting for validation. You already carry the wisdom within you. And that knowing is your power. You may not realize it, but you're in the middle of a spiritual awakening. That's why nothing feels normal anymore. Why old habits don't satisfy. Why surface-level conversations bore you. Your frequency is rising. And everything that doesn't match that vibration is falling away, fast. The separation wasn't a punishment. It was a portal. A space for you to remember your worth. A pause for you to rise. And now, you stand at the edge of a new version of yourself, stronger, wiser, softer. Ready to love again, but this time, without losing yourself in the process. You're healing more than your heart. You're healing lifetimes of pain. Ancestral wounds. Old karmas. And every step you take toward your own light sends ripples through time. Your transformation isn't just about you. It's for everyone who comes after you. You're breaking chains just by being brave enough to feel. Have you ever felt like your soul was burning, but in the most beautiful way? That's the fire of alchemy. That's what happens when pain becomes purpose. When love becomes liberation. When the longing doesn't break you, but reshapes you. That's the gift of this journey, even when it doesn't feel like one. So breathe. Deeply. Slowly. You're not going backwards. You're just shedding. And what feels like falling apart is really you falling into yourself. The you that was always there, underneath the stories, the fears, the masks. The real you. The radiant one. The one he saw, even if he couldn't stay. And here's the part no one talks about: sometimes, your twin flame doesn't come back. Not because he doesn't love you, but because the mission was to awaken you, not to accompany you. And that kind of awakening? It lasts forever. But what if he does come back? Not as the person who left, but as someone transformed, someone who's also been cracked open by the same fire that changed you. That possibility lives in the silence between your thoughts. It's not a promise, but it's not impossible either. The twin flame path is full of paradoxes. And the greatest transformations often happen when you least expect them. What no one tells you is that he feels the pull, even if he pretends not to. He might drown it in distractions, other relationships, or even logic, but the soul doesn't forget. And neither does the body. The energy you shared lingers in his system like a memory he can't name. He may run, but even running is a form of connection. It's resistance, and resistance still means he's engaged. You might wake up some days feeling completely detached, like the connection is fading. But then something hits you, a song, a dream, a random thought, and it floods back in. That's the twin flame dance. It moves in waves. Not to torture you, but to guide you back inward. Every surge is a call to return to your own center. And if you're wondering whether he thinks of you, he does. Maybe not the way you want, maybe not every second. But there are moments when your name vibrates through his chest without warning. A scent, a word, a memory, and suddenly, you're there. Not in front of him, but inside him. Echoing. Unavoidable. Let's be honest, some days you wish you'd never met him. That life would be simpler without this intensity. But would you really go back to who you were before? Before your soul got shaken awake? Before you learned what love could feel like? There's pain here, yes. But there's also depth. And that depth has made you unstoppable. There's a sacred loneliness in this process. A space where no one else can really follow. But that solitude is where you meet yourself. Where you begin to hear your own voice above the noise. And slowly, the need to be understood by others fades. Because you begin to understand you. And that becomes enough. The reunion, if it happens, won't look like the movies. There won't be fireworks and background music. It will be quiet. Grounded. Real. It will feel like a deep breath after years of holding it in. Not explosive, but undeniable. Like gravity. Like home. And you won't need to question it, you'll just know. But don't wait for it. Don't put your life on hold for a someday. Live now. Laugh now. Create now. Your purpose didn't pause when he walked away. It ignited. You were born for more than waiting rooms. You were born to rise, to love, to lead. You are not half of a whole. You are the whole, and he's just a reflection. The universe doesn't tease, it teaches. And every delay, every silence, every unanswered message is a lesson in disguise. You're being refined. Sharpened. Sculpted. The version of you on the other side of this journey will be unrecognizable to who you were before. Not because you've changed, but because you've finally arrived. Even your triggers are sacred. They're portals. Invitations to meet the parts of you still asking for love. The twin flame didn't create your wounds, he just revealed them. And now that you see them, you can heal them. That's where your power begins. Not in being chosen by him, but in choosing yourself. You're not crazy for feeling this deeply. You're not weak for missing him. You're simply awake. And once your soul is awake, it doesn't fit in the old boxes. It craves more. Depth. Truth. Alignment. That's why everything shallow feels unbearable now. Your soul has tasted something real, and it won't settle again. Sometimes, the most radical thing you can do is love yourself where it hurts the most. In the longing. In the doubt. In the nights when nothing makes sense. That's where transformation happens. Not in the highs, but in the willingness to stay present through the lows. That's real courage. That's soul work. You're not here to be rescued. You're here to remember your power. To reclaim your light. To stop begging for crumbs when you were meant for galaxies. Your twin flame didn't break you. He showed you where you were already broken, so you could rise from it. So you could become your own healing. If you're still reading, your soul is craving more than answers. It's craving activation. This isn't just information, it's transformation. These words are keys. And something inside you is already turning. Already waking. Already remembering why you came here in the first place. There's a version of you that's already healed. Already whole. Already walking freely through this journey without fear. She's not in the future, she's inside you now, waiting for permission to lead. And every time you choose peace over panic, trust over control, love over fear, you step closer to her. Do you see how far you've come? Maybe you're still hurting, but look at your awareness. Look at how you feel things more deeply now. How you speak with more honesty. How you cry without shame. That's growth. That's grace. That's your spirit expanding, even through the ache. You don't have to rush your healing. You don't have to force clarity. Everything that's meant for you is already on its way. And the twin flame path? It's not linear. It spirals. It circles back. It surprises you. But it never leaves you unchanged. That's the one thing you can count on, evolution. When your heart breaks, it's not shattering, it's stretching. Making space for more love than you ever thought possible. That's why it hurts. Not because you're losing something, but because you're growing into something bigger. And the soul always grows through discomfort. So keep going. Keep trusting. Keep turning inward. Your journey is unfolding exactly as it should. Not in the way your mind planned, but in the way your soul agreed to before this life began. There are no accidents. You're not behind. You're right on time. Thank you for opening your heart and allowing this message to reach the most sacred parts of your soul. If any of this resonated with you, even a single sentence, know that it wasn't by chance. You were meant to hear this. To feel this. To remember the deeper truth your soul has always carried. Now, I'd love for you to confirm you received this message fully, by writing the words, "Twin Flame of Love." It lets me know you're here, awake, and walking this path with awareness. And if you haven't already, make sure to join our channel by clicking subscribe and turning on the notification bell. This space was created for souls like yours, to guide, to support, and to remind you that you're never alone on this journey. Your next sign might just be in the next video. Stay connected, stay open, and above all, stay true to yourself. With all my heart, thank you.